By the spring of 2026, the atmosphere in Washington, D.C. was suffocating. Geopolitical tension over a controversial war in Iran and a deeply polarized domestic landscape had pushed the security bubble around the president to its absolute limit. The threshold for political violence had been reached years earlier. Following the dual assassination attempts of 2024, the threat of physical harm to the executive branch was an established, recurring reality. These near misses forced the Secret Service into an exhausting, unprecedented state of high alert. Agents were now required to actively contest physical threats to the president on a daily basis. By April 2026, the question for federal law enforcement focused on how the next attacker would adapt to bypass a highly sensitized and massive security apparatus. On April 25th, the White House Correspondents' Dinner brought roughly 2,600 guests to the Washington Hilton. The crowd included the president, the first lady, the vice president, and nearly every senior member of the cabinet. The setting carried a heavy historical weight. This was the same venue where John Hinckley Jr. shot President Ronald Reagan in 1981. Securing the Hilton was a logistical nightmare. Because the lobby remained open to regular guests throughout the dinner, the hard security perimeter was pushed closer to the ballroom itself, leaving a vast public buffer zone exposed. Cole Thomas Allen exploited this vulnerability. A 31-year-old mechanical engineer, Allen bypassed the exterior tech points by legally booking a room 10 floors above the event space the day before. Armed with a shotgun and multiple knives, Allen utilized an unguarded back stairwell to descend toward the ballroom. He sprinted past the main security checkpoint at 9 miles per hour and fired. The attack triggered immediate chaos. Agents dragged the president off the stage as he briefly fell, while guests dove under tables. One officer was struck in the chest by a shotgun round, though his bullet-resistant vest saved his life. The Hilton shooting proved that even a high-alert security posture could be pierced by a meticulous attacker, using the simple geography of a hotel to their advantage. A manifesto recovered by investigators detailed Allen's calculation. He viewed himself as a friendly federal assassin, citing grievances over federal strikes on drug boats and the ongoing war in Iran. Within hours, however, the factual details of the shooting were replaced by conflicting narratives. Online, allegations that the shooting was faked gained immediate traction. Users across multiple platforms claimed the event was staged to build support for a new White House ballroom or to distract from the president's low approval ratings. This was supported by a flood of specific falsehoods. Fabricated search data suggested the suspect was linked to foreign intelligence, while an AI-generated passport of a fictional wife circulated millions of times to create a false profile of the attacker. In an environment where verified evidence was instantly drowned out by forged documents and fabricated data, the Hilton attack proved that objective reality had become a casualty of the violence. 9 days later, the focus of the violence moved from the hotel to the National Mall. On May 4, a 45-year-old man named Michael Marks opened fire near the Washington Monument. The Secret Service returned fire, stopping Marks, though a teenage bystander was wounded during the exchange. This second shooting in less than 2 weeks signaled that the nation had entered a sustained atmospheric condition of violence. On May 23rd, the violence arrived at the gates of power. The setting was the security checkpoint at 17th and Pennsylvania Avenue, directly outside the White House. The suspect was 21-year-old Nasir Best. Best fit the profile of an erratic attacker. He was well known to authorities and suffered from severe delusions, having previously been arrested for attempting to breach the White House, all claiming religious visions. Contrast this with the Hilton attack. While Cole Thomas Allen used stealth and planning, Best launched a direct, uncalculated charge at the most heavily fortified checkpoint in the city. Just after 6 p.m., Best approached the checkpoint and pulled a weapon from his back. Officers immediately returned fire, killing Best. In the disorienting exchange, a bystander was struck and hospitalized. This assault highlighted the most unpredictable threat to the administration: impulsive violence fueled by mental illness. This 30-day window was unlike any other in American history. Within a single month, 3 separate gunmen opened fire in the president's orbit, each originating from a different point on the spectrum of violence. This threat matrix plots attackers based on 2 variables: the nature of their ideology and the precision of their execution. Cole Thomas Allen sits in the calculated and political quadrant, while Nasir Best represents the opposite extreme, erratic and delusional. The operational toll on law enforcement is immense. agents must simultaneously outthink meticulous engineers and react instantly to impulsive lone wolves. These constant, unpredictable assaults do far more than just strain physical resources. They are fracturing the psychological perimeter of the entire nation. While physical barriers around the president can always be hardened with more tactical teams and checkpoints, the psychological barriers of the republic remain brittle, leaving its institutions caught in a permanent crossfire.